Hey there, everybody. This is time for another elimination game in the Strat-Bats tournament. In the loser's bracket, of course, and it's the Giants against the Mets, the current New York team against the former New York team. And so I'm just getting everything set up while I give people a chance to join. It's one of the things I'm never sure about with a live video. If you start it right away, people are going to come in late and miss a lot of stuff, but if you wait too long before you get it started, then people that are watching later are going to wonder what's going on and when you're going to start and all that kind of good stuff. So I guess there's a balance on how to get that done. So right now I'm just setting everything up, and I do have the lineups out there. So hopefully that's something you guys can peruse while waiting for this to start. As I get everything set up, of course, this is in the basic Strat version only, because that's the way the cards are designed. With some of the older sets, that's all I have is the basic version. So we will go ahead and get going here. I just got off work, and while I'm waiting for the traffic to die down, I figured it's a good chance to take about 25 to 30 minutes and get a game in. The Giants are the de facto visiting team because of the lower seed, and the Mets will. I think I said the Giants. The Mets are the lower seed. I hope I said the Mets. Anyway, it's Dwight Gooden, his 1984 rookie season. That ended up being his best season out of the cards that I had. And he's going to go against Madison Bumgarner from last year. The best card I had for Bumgarner, in my opinion. So we are going to get going here. I'll go ahead and let it go for almost 2 minutes. So don't want to belabor the point. We might as well get going. I'll go ahead and take this out of the way. Get that done there, and let's get our dice tray lined up where it needs to be. And then I'll close this in a little bit so you can see the cards a little bit better. We have, of course, Madison Bumgarner, his 2016 card when he was 15-9 with a 2.74 ERA. And for the Mets, it's Dwight Gooden, the doctor. Doctor's making a house call. 1984, 17-9 with a 2.60 ERA. So they're both in there, ready to go. See if I can't get this up a little bit more so you can see the picture cards without it dipping too much. Hey Beatles, how you doing? Trying to get everything kind of set up here where you can see the dice and see the cards. Hopefully you can see the picture card okay and the results on the picture card okay. My vision's not that great, so to me it looks a little, distant, but that's just probably because of my eyesight. So we're gonna get ready to go, and while I'm waiting for other people to come in, I'll go ahead and present the starting lineups for today's game. And of course, this is losing you're out in this tournament. So leading off is the center fielder Tommy Agee from 1969. David Wright hits second. He's his 2005 season. He's at third base. Mike Piazza is the catcher, his 2000 season. He will bat third. Batting cleanup is the straw man, Darryl Strawberry. He's in right field, his 1988 season. Batting fifth is Hojo Howard Johnson. He is the DH, and this is his 1991 season. Dave Kingman's at first base. He will bat in the sixth position. He is his 1982 season. Lee Mazzilli is the left fielder, his 1979 season. He will bat seventh. Daniel Murphy, current Nat, but in 2015 he was a Met, hero in their World Series attempts. He will bat eighth and play second base. And Jose Reyes, the shortstop, will bat ninth. And for Jose Reyes, it is his 2011 card. All right, for the Giants, it's a family affair with the Bonds and Willie Mays. So leading things off will be Bobby Bonds. He's in right field, his 1973 season. Barry Bonds in left field, his 2001, his famous 72 home run season or 73 home run season. Willie Mays in center field will hit third, his 1961 season. Stretch Willie McCovey is at first base in 1969. He's batting cleanup. Orlando Cepeda, the baby bull, he's the DH batting fifth, his 1961 season. Jeff Kent, former Met, 2002 season. He's at second base hitting in the sixth position. Kevin Mitchell at third base will hit seventh. He's his 1989 season when he hit 47 home runs. Buster Posey is the catcher. He's batting eighth, his 2015 season. And batting ninth is a shortstop, Brandon Crawford, his 2015 season. So those preliminaries are out of the way. We are ready to get down to business. It is Madison Bumgarner. He'll be facing Tommy Agee. And we're underway. It's 2-7. Whoops, let's get this where you can see it on camera. Let's pull this back just a hair, and I'll try to roll the dice so they come out here. It's a 2-7 for Tommy Agee, and 2-7 says it's a ground ball to third. And there's one away, and we are underway here in this ball game. Loser is out. Winner moves on to the next loser bracket game. It's now David Wright. It's 4-8. We're off of Bumgarner on a 4-8, and that is a 1-11 double. 12-20 is a single. So base hits coming up for David Wright. 12-20 will be a single. Anything else is a double. It is an 11, so it's exactly where he needs it for a double. Around the last number, so David Wright with a one-out double. Brings up Mike Piazza. It's a 4-9, so Bumgarner on a 4-9. Chance for a home run. 1-14 is a homer. 15-20 is a double, so the run will score either way. It's just a matter of whether it's a home run or not. Piazza trying for it. 1-14, he'll get it. It's a 15, so it's a double, so he just missed it off the wall. But David Wright scores, and the Mets jump to an early 1-0 lead off of Bumgarner. Here's Darryl Strawberry. That's a 1-3 for Strawberry, and a 1-3 is a ground ball second base A. So that's 2 away. Piazza will move to third. 2 down, and Hojo, Howard Johnson, the DH, chance to drive in another run. It's 4-6 against Bumgarner. That's a walk. So Bumgarner is going to issue the free pass to Hojo. Brings up Dave Kingman. King Kong, Dave Kingman. And we get a 1-8 for Kingman. And a 1-8 is a ground ball. Okay, he just missed a home run. 1-9 would have been a home run. 1-8 is a ground ball to the pitcher. So nothing doing there. But the Mets do break through right away with a run. And after half an inning, it's the Mets 1, Giants coming to bat. And the doctor, Doc Gooden, is in the house. He's going to be facing the Bondses. Bobby Bonds followed by Barry Bonds. We get a 3-3 for Bobby Bonds, and a 3-3 is a ground ball to short. One away. Brings up Barry and his 73 home run card. And we get a 3-8 for Barry Bonds, which is a walk. Look at this. Column 3 is almost all walks. So that happens when you walk 177 times. So Barry Bonds draws that walk. Brings up Willie Mays. Say hey. It's a 6-8 against Gooden, and that's a strikeout. So Say hey gets struck out. And there's 2 away for stretch. Willie McCovey. Willie McCovey. It's a 6-12. 6-12 is a strikeout again. So the Doc Gooden, gets the 2 Ks at the end to end the first inning. After 1 completes, the Mets 1, Giants nothing. Hello, Al Red Sox fan. How you doing? Madison Bumgarner back on the bump. Lee Mazzilli stepping to the batter's box. It's a 3-6 for Lee Mazzilli, and he will draw a leadoff walk. So Bumgarner may not want to be doing all this walking because it could be troublesome. Bring up Daniel Murphy. That's a 5-6 for Murphy against Bumgarner, and that's a strikeout. So Bumgarner reaches back with a strikeout for out number 1. Brings up Jose Reyes, shortstop, number 9 hitter. It's a 3-2 for Reyes, and a 3-2 is yet another walk. So Bumgarner, that's his 3rd walk here in less than 2 innings. Moves Mazzilli to second, runners at first and second. I am feeling better, Al. Thank you very much, although it's getting colder around here, and the football game Friday night is supposed to be down in the 30s, so come this weekend, I may not be feeling so well. We'll see. All right, here's Tommy Agee. 3-2. Tommy Agee, 3-2 is a fly to right, and that's 2 away. 2 down for David Wright, and he doubled to start things off in the first, so he's trying to do it again. 6-12 again, and this is a fly to right, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Mets. We go to the bottom of the second. The doctor back on the bump, and he's going to be facing the baby bull, Orlando Cepeda. That's a 3-4 for Cepeda, but that's a ground ball to short. And there's 1 away. Brings up Jeff Kent. He also had time with the Mets, but I thought he had more time with San Fran and was more relevant with San Fran. 5-12. 5-12 against Gooden is a fly ball left field X. The left fielder for the Mets is Mazzilli. He's a 2, and that's a 3. That might drop in. A 2 and a 3 is actually going to be a two-base error. A two-base error on Lee Mazzilli. So Kent will reach second base on the E7. And the doctor will have to try to pitch around that error. Brings up Kevin Mitchell. It's a 5-11 against Gooden, and that's ground ball pitcher X. He's a 3. So Gooden will get a chance to field this one. He's a 3. That is a 14. Let's see if that's a good play or not. 3 for the pitcher, and a 14 is a one-base error. How about that? So back-to-back errors. This one's an E1. And Kent will go to third. So runners are at the corners with only one out. And the Mets defense starting to implode a little bit. Here's Buster Posey. They can still turn 2 and get out of it. It's a 3-8. 3-8, and that's exactly what they just did. A 3-8's a ground ball shortstop A. That's a 6-4-3 DP. And Gooden pitches around those errors. So nothing doing for the Giants here in the second. We go to the third. It's still 1-0 Mets. And that'll bring up Mike Piazza to lead things off. He had an RBI double. He's got the only RBI in the game. It's a 4-9 against Bumgarner. And it's the same role he had last time against Bumgarner because he had to split with the home run and the double, and he rolled a 15. If he can roll a 14 or less, he'll get a home run. And this time he did it. Mike Piazza takes Bumgarner deep, and the Mets lead it 2-0. So that's one batter that Bumgarner has not been able to solve. Here's Strawberry, 2-4. 2-4 is a fly to right. Fly to right. And there's one away. Brings up Hojo, Howard Johnson. That's a 5-3. Ground ball pitcher X. Bumgarner's a 1. So hopefully he'll make that play. We'll see. It's a 2, though. So a 1 and a 2 is an out number 3. And that's with nobody on base. It's just an out. So that's 2 away. And that brings up Dave Kingman. King Kong. Kingman. 6-10 for Kingman. Fly ball center field X. That's Willie Mays. You know he's a 1. Don't have to ask on that one. That's a 7. So an outfielder, a 1, and a 7 is an out. And that's going to end the inning. But the Piazza home run puts another run on the board for the Mets, and after 2.5, it's the Mets 2 and the Giants nothing. And Gooden back on the mound will be facing number 9 hitter Brandon Crawford, shortstop. It's a 3-3 for Crawford, and that's a ground ball to third, 1 away. Here is Bobby Bonds. Bonds, a 6-7 against Gooden, is a strikeout. So Gooden strikes out Bonds, 2 down. That'll bring up Barry Bonds. It's a 2-10 for Barry Bonds, and that's a fly to center. And that's going to end the inning relatively easily for the doctor. After 3 complete, it's the Mets 2 and the Giants nothing. And Bumgarner back on the mound, but the bullpen could be stirring if he starts to run into any issues. Leading off for the Mets is Lee Mazzilli. It's a 3-7 from Mazzilli, and that's another walk. He's got a load of walks on his column 3 here, and he found it. So it's a leadoff walk. That's the second walk from Mazzilli. He's walked twice. It'll bring up Daniel Murphy. That's a 1-2 for Daniel Murphy. And look at this. 1-2 is line out to as many outs as possible. So that is a line out double play. He's going to line it to first, which is McCovey. He'll make the catch, and then McCovey will fire over to Brandon Crawford to double off. I'm sorry, he'll step on the bag to double off Mazzilli, so that'll be 3 unassisted. So line out to first and then 3 unassisted. It's a double play. Clears the bases. Brings up Jose Reyes. And Reyes, a 3-7, is a pop out to third. That's going to end the inning. So that double play certainly came in handy. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 2-0 Mets. Dwight Gooden still in charge. Here's Willie Mays. Say hey, he struck out his first time up. 5-3 is a ground ball to short, X. That is going to be Reyes. He is a 2, and that's a 13. So a 2 and a 13. Whoops, let's get the shortstop here. 2 and 13 is an out. So it's good play. Grounded to short, 1 away. Brings up Willie McCovey. McCovey, a 4-5. 4-5 against Gooden is a walk. So McCovey draws that walk. Al, it could have been if there had been 2 guys on base, because in the basic you can get as many outs as you want. According to, if it's super advanced or advanced, you have to do some extra checks. But on the basic, that would have been a triple play had another guy been on. Here's Cepeda, 5-6, and Gooden strikes him out, 2 down. Brings up Jeff Kent. 2-5 for Kent, and that's a home run. Jeff Kent, 2-5. He's loaded in column 2. He found it. That 2-5 is a 2-run homer, and we have a tie ball game on our hands. Tied at 2. Just that quick, they can strike. All these all-star type players can just put one out in a hurry. It's a 2-4 for Kevin Mitchell, and a 2-4 is a single. So Kevin Mitchell keeps it going with 2 outs. Brings up Buster Posey. Doc Gooden trying to shake that home run off. Posey, it's a 3-6 for Posey. And it's a 1-17 single. 18-20 is a line out to third base. And it is an 11, so it's a single. The single is only 1 star, so Mitchell can only go to second. 2 outs, 2 on for Brandon Crawford, number 9 hitter. It's a 4-10 for Brandon Crawford. Against Gooden is a ground ball third base X, and for the Mets, third baseman is David Wright. He's a 3, and that's a 2, so that might be a base hit. A 3 and a 2 is a single, number 2. And if we look at single number 2, it says runner advances 2 bases. So it's like a single star. And that will score Mitchell, and the Giants have now taken the lead on the single by Crawford. It's now a 3-2 ball game. And now Doc Gooden may be needing some relief. We're back to the top of the order for Bobby Bonds. He's trying to get that third out. The Mets bullpen could be stirring here quickly. It's a 1-7 for Bobby Bonds. He just missed a lot of stuff. It's a fly to left field, and that's going to end the inning. But there's a 3 spot on the board now for the Giants. And after 4 complete, it's the Giants 3 and the Mets 2. Madison Bumgarner may be refreshed getting that run support. Hey, Ken, how you doing? Here is Tommy Agee, top of the order. And we get a 3-5 for Agee. And the 3-5 is a strikeout. So Tommy Agee down on strikes, 1 away. David Wright, the batter. We have, everything's covered up. Let's move it to where you can see it. 3-7 for Wright is a strikeout. So Wright with a strikeout. I'll try to roll the dice so they show on the camera as best I can. Sometimes I miss. Here's Mike Piazza, 9 for Piazza, and he's going to strike out. So that's going to end the inning. As Bumgarner, refreshed with that run support, strikes out the side. Go to the bottom of the 5th. Mets bullpen is loosening a little bit. David Cone is actually loosening in their bullpen. He has a split card between starting and relieving, so he can do that. 4-5. Let's get Gooden back off there. 4-5 is a walk. So a leadoff walk to Barry Bonds, which is not a surprise again. So he will draw the leadoff walk. Brings up Willie Mays. Say hey. 6-10 against Gooden. 6-10 is a 1-8 single. 9-20 is a line out to third. It's a 17, so he's going to line it to third for out number 1. Ken, the score is Giants 3, Mets 2. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Giants have Barry Bonds on first with 1 out, and here comes Willie McCovey. It's a 5-8. 5-8 for Gooden is a strikeout again, so that's out number 2. That'll bring up Orlando Cepeda, baby bull. And we get a 1-8. 1-8. Oh, look at this Cepeda. A 1-8, if I can get the focus right. 1-8, a 1-2 is a triple. 3-20 is a single. with 2 stars. So 1 to 2 will be a triple, but most likely a single, and that's what it is with a 9. And Barry Bonds will move to third base. So runners are at the corner. Runners are at the corners with 2 outs, and Jeff Kent, the batter, who homered his last time up. So they're going to make a move to the bullpen. The doctor has been lifted, and David Cone is going to come in. This is his 1988 season. He was 20-3 with a 2.22 ERA, and you can see he does have the relief quality. So he's going to come in and try to get out of this mess against, or try to, relieve the doctor here. So Cone trying to be what the doctor ordered, to borrow a bad pun. So here comes Jeff Kent. It's a 3-7 for Kent, and it's a ground ball to third. So Cone did it, even though it was not off his card. He got out of it, and nothing doing for the Giants. So after 5 complete, it's the Giants 3 and the Mets 2. Madison Bumgarner back out there for inning number 6, facing Darryl Strawberry, 0 for 2. 111. 111 is a ground ball to first. 1 away. Brings up Hojo, the DH, Howard Johnson. That's a 1-3. 1-3 is a ground ball to second. That's 2 down. And it brings up King Kong, Dave Kingman. And that's a 2-10 for Kingman. Kingman at 2-10 is a strikeout. So Madison Bumgarner has turned it up a notch since getting that run support. And we go to the bottom of the 6th, still 3-2. David Cone, of course, out for another inning of work. Be facing Kevin Mitchell. And Mitchell, 1-7 for Mitchell. He will fly to left. That's 1 away. Buster Posey. Buster, pocket full of Posey. It's 4-4. It's catcher's card X. And that's going to be Piazza. And Piazza is a 4. That's a 17. Let's see what that brings about. A 4 and a 17 is a wild pitch followed by foul out. Nobody's on base, so it's simply a foul out. Out number 2 brings up Brandon Crawford. Hello, Bob. How you doing? Brandon Crawford, the batter. 2-4 for Brandon Crawford. 2-4 is a fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. So 6 innings are in the books, and it is the Giants clinging to a 3-2 lead over the Mets. Madison Bumgarner still in there, although the bullpen is loosening for the Giants. Rob Nen, who had 43 saves in 2002, he is loosening in the bullpen. Right now, it is Lee Mazzilli leading off for the Mets. That's a 4-5 against Bumgarner, and that's a strikeout. So 1 away. Bumgarner still red hot, though. You hate to take him out. Here's Daniel Murphy. And Murphy, a 3-6. But this time Murphy gets a double. So a 1-out double for Murphy. Brings up Jose Reyes. Reyes, the batter. 1-8 for Jose Reyes, and he just got a single. And now we have to see whether Murphy will try to score. There are not 2 outs, so you don't get that extra advantage. He's a 1-12. So we're going to hold him up. It's going to put runners at the corners with 1 out. And the top of the order, Tommy Agee. And it looks like we're going to go to the bullpen. So Madison Bumgarner, his day is done. And Rob Nen, this is his 2002 card. He was 6-2 with a 2.20 ERA and 43 saves. So he's looking to see if he can't get out of this thing and preserve the lead for Bumgarner. So Rob Nen will be in there to face Tommy Agee with runners at second and third, 1 out, infield. Well, I guess in the basic game, I don't know if the infield in matters or not, but if it does, we'll play it in. How about that? 3-8. 3-8 is a strikeout. So Rob Nen with the K for out number 2. And now he has to get David Wright. That's the last one to get out of this jam. It is a 6-4. 6-4 is a fly ball center field X. That is going to be Willie Mays, who's a 1. And that is a 17. So a 1 and a 17 is an out. So that's going to end the inning. So Rob Nen does his magic, gets out of that jam, preserves the lead for Bumgarner. And we go to the bottom of the 7th, and it'll be top of the order, Bobby Bonds. to lead it off against Cone. It's 5-6. 5-6 is a strikeout. So Cone still pitching well in relief. Here's Barry Bonds. He's walked twice. 5-8. He's going to strike out this time. So Cone twirling it here in relief. 2 quick outs for Willie Mays. Say hey, 4-11. Ground ball pitcher X. Cone is a 2. So Cone is a 2. And that's an 11. So we check the pitcher rating. 2 and an 11. And that's a 1 base error on Mr. Cone. So E1. Third third Met error of the game. Willie Mays will reach. And with 2 outs, here comes stretch, Willie McCovey. And that's a 4-4 against Cone. That's catcher card X, so that's going to be Piazza. He's a 4. And that's a 3. So that might drop for a base hit. 4 and a 3. And nope, it's a pass ball followed by a pop out. So a pass ball is going to allow Mays to go to second. But then the next pitch, McCovey fouls out to end the inning. So it doesn't come back to hurt him at all. And we've played 7 complete. It is still 3-2 in favor of the Giants. And in for another inning of work is Rob Nen. He got out of that jam earlier. He's only faced 2 batters, so he's still good to go. Mike Piazza to lead things off. It is a 3-4. 3-4 is a ground ball to short, and that's 1 away. And that'll bring up Darryl Strawberry, the straw man. 5-4 against Rob Nen is a catcher card X. That's Buster Posey. And Posey's a 1. And that's a 4. So you hope that's a good play. 1 and a 4. Look at that. Safe on first on dropped pop-up. Do you believe that? Safe at first on dropped pop-up. So it doesn't say error on it, but you would assume it'd be an error. Unless Posey just missed the ball completely and it fell in. But I'm gonna call it E2, even though it doesn't specifically say that. Just in the words, it kind of leads you to that direction. So Strawberry's on with 1 out. Here's Hojo. It's a 3-9 for Hojo, and that's a strikeout. So that's out number 2. And it's up to Big Kong, Dave Kingman. Another chance with his 37 home runs. That's a 1-6. And he's got a chance. 1-13 is going to be a home run. 14-20 is a fly to left. A 1-13, and the Mets have taken the lead. It's a 9, and they've done it. Dave Kingman just went deep off of Rob Nen. It is now a 4-3 Mets lead. And that brings up Lee Mazzilli with 2 outs, and Nen's going to try to finish the inning, but then he'll be out of there. It's a 5-8 off of Nen, and that's a strikeout to end the frame. But the 2-run homer by Kong Kingman has put the Mets up by the score of 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Cone's still in there in relief, although Tug McGraw is loosening in the bullpen. So he could certainly be coming in. In fact, I think they're going to go ahead and bring him in. So David Cone did his job, and now we're going to bring in Tug McGraw. 1971 card for the Mets. 11-4 with a 1.70 ERA and 8 saves. So Tug McGraw is the 3rd Mets pitcher. He will be in, and he will be facing Orlando Cepeda, Jeff Kent, and Kevin Mitchell. And we get a 1-10. So 110 is a 1-5 double, 6-20 single. So Cepeda will get on. And he gets on with a single. So it's a leadoff single for Cepeda. That'll bring up Jeff Kent. Jeff Kent. 110 for Kent. And I didn't bunt, and I probably should have. It's a ground ball back to the pitcher, double play. 1-6-3 double play. But with all this power, you hate to bunt. And that time they paid for it. Here's Kevin Mitchell. 5-7 is a strikeout, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Giants. We go to the 9th. New pitcher for the Giants as Rob Nen gave up that home run in the previous inning. So we're going to peruse the bullpen and see who we're going to go to here. Looks like it's going to be, let's see here. Looks like it's going to be Santiago Casilla his 2015 card. He was 4-2, 2.79 ERA and 38 saves. So he is in there to see if he can't keep the score right where it is. He will be facing Murphy, Reyes, and Agee. And Casilla is the third Giant pitcher in the ball game. So Daniel Murphy to lead things off. And we get a 3-10. So a 3-10 for Murphy is a single. So a leadoff single for Murphy. Now Reyes is up. Now Reyes is the kind of guy that would bunt. So we're going to go ahead and bunt with Jose Reyes. And it's a 5. So it should be a good bunt. We'll see. 5 batters thrown up by pitcher on a 4 or 5. So that is a good bunt. Sacrifice hit. We'll call it 1-4. Murphy will go to second with 1 out. And we're back to the top of the order. And Tommy Agee. So Agee is up to face Casilla. It's a 3-10. 3-10 is a ground ball pitcher B, so the runner has to hold. 2 down for David Wright. Let's see if he can't knock a run in. It's 2-9. 2-9, he's going to strike out instead and like it. And the inning is over. So we go to the bottom of the 9th, last chance for the Giants. Now the question is, does Tug McGraw finish it off, or do they bring in someone else in relief like John Franco? John Franco American could be coming in. Or Armando Benitez. There's a couple different relievers. Henry Mejia. But they're actually going to go to somebody more modern. They're going to Jeurys Familia. His 2015 card. 1.85 ERA and 43 saves. So Familia, the number 4th pitcher for the Mets in this game, trying to close it out. He'll be facing Posey, Crawford, and Bonds, but we're going to get a pinch hitter for Crawford probably. Depending on the situation, Will Clark is waiting in the wings to pinch hit. So we're going to start with Posey and then probably go to Will Clark. So here's Posey. It's a 6-7 off of Familia. Ground ball shortstop X, that's Reyes, and he's a 2. And that's a 15. So it's a shortstop and a 2 and a 15 is an out. So good play, 6-3 ground out, 1 away. And now Crawford will be called back, and Will Clark will be on to pinch hit Will the Thrill. His 1987 card for Will the Thrill. He had 35 home runs at 308, and of course they're looking for the long ball to tie the ball game. That's the reason for the pinch hitting. They want the long ball. So here's Will Clark, but it's not off his own card, so he can't control that. 5-3 is a fly ball left field X. For the Mets, and left field is Mazzilli. He's a 2, and that's an 8. See if he can do it. 2 and an 8 is an out. 9 would have been a double, but 8's an out. So Will Clark fails in the pinch hitting duties. So he flies to left. So it's last chance for the Giants. It's all down to the Bonds. Barry Bonds, or actually Bobby Bonds. It's up to Bobby Bonds. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts though. 5-7. It's ground ball second base X. That is going to be Murphy. He's a 4. And that's a 2. That's probably a base hit. A 4 and a 2 is a single. So the inning continues as Bobby Bonds gets a single. Now, Bobby Bonds is also a double-A stealer. He is a double-A stealer, and with Piazza being a 4-rated catcher, it's prime for a stolen base. 4-rated catcher, you only lose 1 point, so the safe range is 1 to 16. They think it's a good gamble on a 1 to 16. They're going to take it, and it's an 8. He made it, so it's a stolen base for Bobby Bonds. Now it's up to Barry Bonds to bring him in. So Barry Bonds stepping to the plate. First base is open, so they could walk Barry Bonds, but that wouldn't be any fun. We're going to let Barry Bonds swing away. 4-11. Ground ball first base X. That's going to be the first baseman, Dave Kingman. He's a 4. That's an 8. So a 4 and an 8 is out with no runners on base, 4. And a 4 is, if runners are forced, runners are... So it just says it's an out. So that's going to do it. Barry Bonds fizzles on that one. So do the Giants. The Mets, unfortunately, for folks that were commenting in there, the Mets do advance. They take out the Giants. You could blame Dave Kingman. He hit the 2-run homer that did it. And it's a 4-3. And despite committing a couple of errors, they were able to win this game by the final score of 4-3. Losing pitcher was Rob Nen. I believe the win will go actually to David Cohn because he pitched the 7th prior to them scoring. And the save goes to Jairus Familia. And if you want to give a hold to Tug McGraw, you can do that, I guess. But we'll go to our little chart here with the Mets with that victory. The Mets will be playing the Cincinnati Reds. So as we go to the losers bracket, I don't want to give away anything I haven't shown yet. Anyway, they're going to be playing the Reds in the next round. So the Mets against the Reds in the losers bracket next round. And the Giants, unfortunately, will have to go back in the box or in the manila folder, what you want to call it, the place I put the cards. They will have to go back and think about what could have been. So Mets do it, and at least it was an exciting, close game. They had a 2-0 lead. They blew the lead with the 3 runs that the Giants got in the 4th, but then they came back with that King Kong home run and took advantage by the final score of 4-3. Sorry about that, Beatles. I can't control how the dice roll. That's just the way they came up, and you never know what's going to happen. One good thing is the Mets are still in the tournament, so you can certainly pull for them to lose again in the next round to the Reds. And trying to figure out who's going to pitch for the Mets, probably Jerry Koosman, because Tom Seaver still has to have one more game off. And for the Reds, they've used Jose Rijo, and they've also used Rijo, and they've used I'm trying to think of who pitched the first game. I'm drawing a blank now off the top of my head. Johnny Cueto. So the Reds could go to Don Gullett. They could go to a couple different people, but we'll see how that goes. Bob, freaking Rob Nen, you would think with the year he had on that card, he would have been able to get the job done. But in all fairness to Rob Nen, I don't remember if that was off his card. Actually, I think it was off his card. So we can blame him. That's the downside to the Strat-o-matic is that 50-50. If it gets off the hitter's card, the pitcher has no say in it. And that's one of those downfalls in Strat. But when you think about it, if you're doing like a season replay or something, the theory is that over the course of a season, the 50-50 will balance out, and the hitters and pitchers will get enough chances on their own card. Nino Espinosa did not make the cut of the roster for the Mets. And one thing I might want to do in the future, if the Mets are playing, to be fair to them, is when they get the lead, bring in some better defenders. So like Felix, I've got the card turned around. Felix Millan could come in and play second, and Ed Kranepool could come in and play first. And Jerry Grody could come in and catch, all much better defenders. But as I look at the starting rotation, Jerry Koosman, well, there's a couple guys. You can go modern or you can go old school. I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Got the 3-headed monster of DeGrom, Harvey, and Syndergaard. Or we can go with Jerry Koosman. So there's, lots of choices there. I'll have to see how the mood hits me and see who I think can do the best and fairest job against the Reds. Bob, I could use Anthony Young. I think he went 1-19 or something like that for the Mets one year. So that would have been a hoot as well. All right, guys, it's just after 6 here on the East, and I think the traffic should have died down by now. So I need to head home and get something to eat and try to relax a little bit. I think I'll play a game of the 87 Braves History Maker Baseball offline just to get another one of their games in the books. I'm up to game 138 now, so we're closing in. And if you go to the Play.com Facebook page, I always put the copy of the box score and give a little bit of a newspaper-like recap of what happened in the game and player of the game and so forth. So look out for that if you're following the Play.com Facebook page. All right, guys, until next time, appreciate all you guys that tuned in, and makes it more interesting when there's always a little chatter going on. And we're rolling along here in this tournament. There's only one game left in the losers bracket, I believe, if I remember correctly. There might be 2 games left. Let me see here. Nope, there's only one game left. That's going to be the Cubs and the Braves. That's the loser bracket game, Cubs and Braves. And I think just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to have Greg Maddux pitch for the Cubs against the Braves. That could be an interesting matchup against John Smoltz. So maybe tomorrow or whenever next time I can do a video, Friday, I'm going to do the Braves and Cubs. It's going to be Maddux against Smoltz. So look for that. And, kind of interesting to have a Maddux go against his former club. So enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Beatles, Bob, anybody else I might have forgotten. It won't let me scroll down to get the comments now to see who else was in here. I know Al Red Sox fan was in here. And RNDPG, I don't remember the whole acronym there. He was in. But I know when I go try to list everybody, I'm going to forget somebody, so I don't want to offend anyone. But for all the guys that tuned in and commented, even if you just tuned in and didn't comment, and for those that will watch later, until next time, this is David from Baseball Demos signing off and saying so long from now. Final score again, the Mets outlast the Giants 4-3. They move on in the tournament. And until next time, we'll see you all down the road.